Okay, we'll just go ahead and get started, guys. My name is Nikki. I'm a mindset and manifestation consultant. I love the mind. I have been studying the mind for about 21 years. I've been studying manifestation for about 16 years. And you can't get me to shut up about it. I love, love, love this stuff. It is the key to life. I mean, there's no way you can unhear or unsee the information that I teach. And once I teach it, people, you can't help but want to transform your life. So, I teach people how to create the lives that they love by using their minds, okay? And so, what you want to understand is that you're programmed. You came here with a clean slate. You were a baby. You didn't know anything. And everything that you believe right now is simply because you were programmed to believe certain things in your life. You were conditioned by your parents and your schooling and your teachers and the TV and social media and the news and understand that there's three ways that you are programmed. You come here with a clean slate. You're programmed with everything around love, mindset, abundance, lifestyle. All of that is a program, right? And you get your program three ways. Okay, there's three ways a program can be embedded. So let's take the love program, for example. Okay. So your love program can be embedded either through repetition, okay, trauma, or super exciting experiences. Three ways. That's it. So if we're using the love program, for example, I would say that, okay, say someone is programmed repeatedly, right? With hearing their parents always fighting and arguing, right? If they grow up continuously hearing their parents being disrespectful to each other and abusive to each other repeatedly, that would eventually create a belief within this child that love hurts. Love can be difficult. Love is disrespectful. Love is this, based off of the conditioning that the child experienced. So this is repetition, right? So it's repeatedly seeing their parents going through this, right? But you can also be programmed two other ways through trauma. Okay, trauma only needs to happen one time, and super exciting experiences. This too only needs to happen one time. So, an example of trauma happening within the love program could be, say a child was molested, sexually abused, raped. Say they experienced their parent being raped or something like that. It only needs to happen what? One time. And that child is instantly programmed with the belief of love is scary, or I'm not safe, or my mother isn't safe, or my whatever it is. But instantly after that one time of trauma, they instantly believe something, right? So you got two things so far, two ways the program has been embedded to so far. You have repetition. I gave you an example of that. From trauma, I gave you an example of that, and super exciting experiences. So anything super exciting, of course, is going to be good, right? So a program within an example of a super exciting experience in the love program would be an example of, say, for instance, someone being proposed to, at the top of the Eiffel Tower or whatever, right? Okay, so that's a super exciting experience. It only needs to happen one time for you to instantly believe that, oh my gosh, good things happen to me. Oh my gosh, my life is a fairy tale, or oh my gosh, my Prince Charming, or my princess, or whatever. your belief may be, right? So we get our programs three ways: trauma, super exciting experiences, as well as repetition. Now, you want to remember that once you are programmed with something, like once the program sticks, right? That means there's a certain belief within you that has been created. Okay? Once that belief is created within you, you then will experience the world according to that program. So if you grow up believing that love is difficult, love is scary, love is, unhealthy, right? Because you saw your parents' relationship and it was unhealthy. If you grow up to believe that to be true, what type of life do you think you will experience? You will experience a life that is reflected according to your program. So, this is why you will see people regurgitating a lot of what their parents went through. Now, I'm going to say this though: we do have what's called free will. That same child that grew up hearing their parents going through all of that toxicity, they could they could decide that they want something completely opposite of that. It can deter them from relationships. For example, it could result in someone never wanting to be in a relationship at all. Or it can result in something like this person wanting to be a relationship counselor because they saw so much trauma in their own upbringing. So we have what's called free will. This is why you can see some people that lived through poverty come out to be multimillionaires. You can see some that experience poverty and they basically regurgitate that. You will see that they too live paycheck to paycheck or less. So we have free will. Just because we were programmed with something doesn't mean we have to allow that to play out in our lives. But it helps us understand why we may be living out our lives in a certain way that we really don't want, you know? If you're wondering why you keep experiencing these toxic relationships, or attracting people that are unavailable to you because they're emotionally unavailable, or whatever the case may be, there's a reason for that. You got to always revert back to your programming and seeing what is the dominant belief in my life. What did I grow up hearing and seeing and experiencing that is causing me to repeat this cycle in my own life, right? Because once we understand that, wow, okay, we're programmed, and we get our program three ways: through repetition, trauma, and super exciting experiences. Wow. And we get our program through our teachers, our parents, our schooling, our society. So basically our society, this is how we get programmed. So that tells us we can reprogram ourselves. That tells us all we have to do is just use repetition to reprogram ourselves to create the experience that we desire. So, as far as love, that was me. I had heavy, heavy fears around love. I saw infidelity at a young age. It scared me. So, I grew up, early childhood, young adult, running literally from love, self sabotaging love, not really wanting to take love seriously. And, I don't know how much you can really at that young of an age anyway, but I'm saying that to say I did not love wholeheartedly because I had a lot of fears around it. And so I then attracted a relationship where I was in and out of that relationship for almost 10 years. It was really toxic. right? So I was programmed and had fears around love that I had to correct if I wanted to experience something different. And you see, a lot of us are carrying on our parents' shit. Excuse my French. Can I curse on here? A lot of us are carrying and regurgitating our parents' stuff, things that they went through, things that they didn't heal. You know what I'm saying? So then we learn these habits. We are programmed with these habits. And then that's what we end up like playing. That's what ends up playing out in our life. So here we are wanting different. I knew that I wanted something more. I knew that this was not it. Oh no. So I had to spend some time alone. And I literally had to reprogram my mind so that I could experience the healthy, loving marriage that I'm in today. Okay. So we have a program for everything. We have a program for love, money, health, abundance, lifestyle, everything. The way you feel about yourself, your self image, your self worth, all of that. It's all a program. A lot of us had parents that loved us, but a lot of us didn't have parents that taught us self love. They didn't teach you self love, meaning they didn't teach you how to make yourself a priority. I grew up being a yes girl because I didn't want to disappoint anybody, or I just wanted, I was taught to care what other people thought and what are these people going to say? And oh my goodness, like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But these were things that I picked up on, right? So when you want to level up in your life, when you want to change things in your life, and you can, and you should, all you have to understand is you just have to reprogram yourself. You have to overwrite your current program. And how do you do that? That's what people want to know mainly. How do I do that? Well, you do it with what I call your creative tools. You see, you are a creator. You came here to create. That's all that you came here to do. You came to earth to create. And when I say create, I literally mean to create your reality. You are here to create your reality. Okay? And we do that with our tools, our thinking, our speaking, our actions, and our emotions. Or tools. Call them what they are so that you know how to use them and you know how to properly apply them. You see, when you call your thinking a creative tool, you're gonna look at it accordingly. You're gonna apply it accordingly. When I tell myself that my speaking is a creative tool, you're not gonna just catch me out here saying any old thing. I am creating my reality. You're not just going to catch me out here doing any little old thing. I tell you, your actions is one of your creative tools. So there's no way you just going to catch me out here doing any old thing. You understand? So when you know that you have these tools on you 24/7, that's literally creating the reality that you walk into tomorrow. You move different. When you realize that, you move different. Okay. And so you use your creative tools in alignment with your goals and the reality that you want to create. And you must use these tools every single day. You see, when you're leveling up, like when you're creating true love and abundance and changing your lifestyle, you literally become someone new. You are becoming. So by you applying your tools every single day, that is you becoming that new identity. Okay. That is you becoming the new identity. This is why it's imperative that you apply these tools on a daily basis. Because if you're not applying these tools on a daily basis, you are remaining stagnant. You are doing what you typically do every single day. And when you want to level up, you can't do what you typically do every single day. You cannot do the same things, but expect a different outcome. So when you say you want true love, but you're entertaining the same people, the same exes, the same toxic ass relationship. You got red flags within the first 7 days of dating this person, but you'd rather entertain them than be alone, right? When you're doing these things, you're literally you're keeping up your old identity. You're living in the old identity, right? You cannot get your true love by continuing to live in your old identity. Okay? So if you want true love, you got to move towards that. So that means anybody that shows up, baby, that's not worth your time, you must release them. You must release them so you can continue on in the game and move forward to your person. When those exes show back up, and you know dang on well that they have not changed, they have not changed, right? But you feel in some type of way because they running back to you. You see, you will get tested by the universe. You will get tested by the divine. The divine will say, okay, let's see if you really want this true love. I'm going to send that X back to you. Uh-huh. And when you stay there and you remain, guess what? It's holding up your true love. It's wasting time right there. You're wasting time, right? So when you are serious about the leveling up that you want to do, you move towards your goals. You release things that don't serve you. You have faith in what is coming forth. You don't force things that don't belong to you. You trust in the divine to deliver what is meant for you. And you see, in that becoming, when you're using your tools on a day-to-day basis, you're thinking, you're speaking, your actions and your emotions in alignment with that love. I'm using love tonight as an example because we're limited on time and I want to make sure I can just give you guys a thorough example. But if you want to use your creative tools in alignment with true love, see, you have to understand that you are shifting into a new identity. When you wake up right now, what do you see? You see that toxic love, or you see that non existent relationship, or you see a relationship that needs to be improved, or you see whatever you see. That's where you stand right now. That's your vibration right now. When you say, Nikki, I need your help. I really want, I'm ready for love. I want to attract that into my life. I say, okay, are you ready to shed this person who you are right now? Because you got to understand the reason why you're not attracting that love is because you have not become that person. You have not become that woman. You have not become that man. You see, when you become that person, you don't have to look for anything. It will be attracted to you. In order to create that which you desire in this world, you must be it first. I'll repeat that. In order to attract what you desire here, right, you must be it first. You understand? If you want abundance, you must be abundance. If you want love, you must be the love. So if you're on your quest for true love every day, you're going to go about your journey, right? You're going to be hopeful for love. You're going to be thinking of that beautiful love that you will experience that is waiting for you. You're going to be thinking and envisioning your person. You're going to speak out loud to your person. I used to speak out loud to my husband before he appeared. I used to speak out loud to him before he appeared to my eyes. You understand? I was creating him with what? My creative tool, my speaking. And you see, I would think about him. I would think about the beautiful vacations we would have. I would think about the romance we would have. I would think about, right? I would think about it all as I desire it to be. And I say, divine, you know what? I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to rush any relationship. I'm not going, if somebody shows up and they not for me, I am not going to entertain them. Matter of fact, I got rid of my fuck buddy. Excuse me, but I did. I got rid of my fuck buddy on a Wednesday, baby. My husband showed up on a Saturday. The next Saturday, like literally a couple days later, Saturday. You see, when you're serious with the universe, when you're serious with the divine, and you stand behind your word, no divine, I am serious, no divine, nobody else is going to do. I will wait on you because I know that you divine, you're going to deliver the right one for me. You see, we don't know the true desires of everybody's heart. We don't know it, but the divine does. And you see, the divine knows the true desires of your heart and where you're headed. The divine knows the true nature of your potential spouse's heart. And that's who you need to be the matchmaker. Don't go out here trying to manifest a specific person or an ex to come back. Why the hell you think the divine moved them out your way? See, and here you are trying to force something. You will suffer. You suffer when you force things, especially when the divine removed them. So when you have faith in the divine, because you should, we're co-creating here. You know, you're not doing it alone. You should have faith in the divine because don't nobody else do it better than the divine. Nobody else does it better than the divine. So when you tell the divine where you're going, and when you think and speak and act and feel in alignment with that on a daily basis, when you release people who do not serve you while you're on this journey, as soon as you get the red flag, that's the quicker you're going to get to your true love. The quicker you move through your fears, and don't let those fears hang you up. You don't want to start dating because you scared, and you don't know if this what this person's gonna think of you. You don't know if this person's gonna, like, you got all this stuff going on when you're supposed to be letting the divine handle that. All you're supposed to be doing is thinking in alignment with where you are going. And the problem with people when we're trying to manifest is you're too busy focused on what ain't working out, what is not working out. Why do you think it keeps getting magnified? Oh, it's the top of the month. You got mortgage due, you got rent due, you got bills due. Okay, you couldn't pay it all, but what did you pay? Shit, what did you pay? Don't focus on what didn't work out. You be grateful and express gratitude for the things that are working out. Oh, I just got a nice chunk of money, and dang, my car had to break down. Gosh, every time I get someone, my good, should we not be grateful that we had the money right in the nick of time? What is going on now? You better express that gratitude. So when we use our creative tools, the thinking, the speaking, the actions, and the emotions now on what we don't want, when we use those tools in alignment with the things that aren't working out, guess what we're creating more of? We are creating more situations that we will not, that we'll be stressed out about. We're going to be creating more of that. I just told you you are a creator. I just told you you create with your thinking, your speaking, your actions, and your emotions. There's no way in heck I want to hear you say anything about what you don't have, what you can't afford, how many men ain't out here, how many good parts. Like I don't want to hear that. That's your reality. That ain't mine. Oh, I know Prince Charming out here, baby, because I created him. You want to know what I told him when I met him? I said, damn, you seem so familiar. I said, you are very familiar. He most certainly was. I created him into my damn mind. He most certainly was familiar. He was my creation. Of course, I'm going to recognize him. And of course, you will recognize yours. Don't ask how you going to know. You will know. You will know. It's your creation. You understand? If you ever have to question it, baby, that ain't the one. If you ever have to question it, it's not the one. Trust me when I say this. And you see, this is the benefit of living intentionally. Intentionally. You see, I wake up with intentions. I go to sleep with intentions. I move throughout my day intentionally. So, do y'all think I really sweat when I'm getting ready to go through an obstacle? I'm going through moments of growth right now. Right now, I'm rebranding, right? So I'm going through moments of growth right now. It's calling me to rise up, right? It is. But these obstacles that I'm enduring, my goodness, I am grateful for. How grateful am I to have the divine by my side, giving me these obstacles so I can level up to the level I want to be at. After all, this is my creation. I am desiring to be this, to go after this dream, to go after this desire, to go after this relationship, to go after. So why would I complain if I got to go through some moments of growth? Some obstacles that's gonna help me get there. You want true love, and you tripping because your current relationship just crumbled, baby. If that is not the clearest damn sign that the divine is on your side to show you things that you need so you can get the hell up out of there and get that much closer to the relationship that you belong in. You crying. You have a vision for the love that you desire, but you crying because your current relationship just crumbled. Well, my goodness. It must not belong. They must not belong. They can't go where you going. And the divine is removing them. I suggest you express gratitude. I suggest you express gratitude. You see, when we think things are not working out in our favor, oh, but yes, they are. You see, the glass can always be half empty or half full. If you look at the glass, if it's half empty, it is. This is correct. It is half empty, but it most certainly is half full as well. So, this means that a breakup can be horrible. It can be devastating. It can be the worst thing in the world. But if you pivot that, it most certainly can be a blessing in disguise. It can be a blessing in disguise. Shit, the divine may be saving you from something, baby. You only, you better express gratitude, right? So I just want to remind you guys that you are in control of your reality for the most part. We do have divine order taking place. There are certain things that, I like to say that we should feel empowered and know that we do have the power to manifest our reality. But there are certain things like divine order that are playing a part in this. For example, I could manifest wanting to win a contest. And I could manifest that, and someone else could win the contest, right? Because it may be in divine order for me to get something out of the losing of that. You understand? And it may be something that someone else needs out of the winning of that particular contest. So everything is working out for you. You just may not understand in those moments. But if you are able to look at the bright side and look at the lesson that you could be receiving from it, you will see that your world will reflect, okay, will reflect that back to you. So, I do teach this on TikTok all the time. You guys have my website. My website is weareallwinning.com. But I wanted to open up the floor for you guys to ask questions so I could really answer them if you had any. So let me check the chat and see. Does anyone have any questions? Any question? Let me know. If not, it's okay. But I did want to allow some time for that. If anybody needs any tips with any um like anything with love or creating abundance in your life or your mindset, I mean, really, when I'm on live, I'm on there for a couple of hours because I really go into depth. Sometimes on this stuff, I really get into anxiety and depression and how that could be, affecting your manifestations, which I could, oh, you are. Hey girl, how you doing? Very, very good. So I'll say this while I'm checking. I'll keep an eye on the chat. So if you deal with anxiety or depression, understand that it may be working against your manifestations. Okay. So if you want to manifest love, but you deal with heavy anxiety, right? So you should be using your thinking to focus on the love, right, that you're creating, the beautiful love that you're creating. But anxiety or depression may have you thinking on the past heavy traumas that you experienced around love, or, it may have you heavy in fears around love, right? So you won't actually move towards your goal because you're too busy trying to survive emotionally. Okay. So if you deal with heavy anxiety and depression, I teach how to master your mindset and like control those thoughts, right? But I want you to understand that when you have anxiety and trauma, okay, it will result. I'm sorry, when you have anxiety and trauma, you have to do two things. You have to first work on your healing and your mind mastery. So people healing looks different for everybody. Some people can read a book and be healed. Some people can listen to music, be healed. Some people can speak with a counselor or go on a healing retreat and be healed. So people heal in different ways. And um that is for you to know what you need, right? So you want to work on that if you deal with anxiety and depression. And you also want to work on mind mastery, and that's the controlling the thoughts. And that's what I teach. Okay. So if you are, say, for instance, here today, and you notice that your emotions, like you're starting to cry, you're starting to get sad, you see your emotions are a gauge for you. Just like your car, your check engine light is a gauge for your um car. It lets you know if you need to go and take it to the mechanic or whatever it does, right? Whatever you do, you'll take it to the mechanic or to the advanced auto to hook it up to the machine. But that check engine light is letting you know something. Right? And so it's a trigger for you to check on your car. Well, I want your emotions to be a trigger for you to check on your mindset. Okay. So if you are here and all of a sudden you starting crying and you're starting to get emotional, you let your emotions be a gauge and you ask yourself, what am I thinking about? What am I thinking about? Okay. And when you ask yourself, what am I thinking about? You may notice in that specific moment in time that you are thinking about something that does not feel good. It may be a past trauma, a past argument, something that has happened that has literally just caused you trauma, right? And so you can't let it go. You're stuck there. Okay. What you have to do is when you find that your mind has drifted off, you stop the thought in its tracks, dead in its tracks, right? And you bring your awareness back to the present. Okay? And so, how do you check in with the present? You see, you were sitting here and your mind started to take off and go elsewhere. So, there's a disconnect there. Here you are sitting in the room, but your mind is somewhere else. Your mind, we'll say it's in Alaska. Well, your mind shouldn't be in Alaska. Your mind should be with you, right? So, how do we, once we stop the thought and bring your awareness back to the room, how do we check in with the room? How do we bring our awareness back to the room? Well, we ask ourselves sensory questions. Sensory questions, right? What is that I see? What is that I smell? What is that I hear? So these sensory questions are going to help your mind recalibrate with your body. Okay. So your mind and body will become one again. Your mind is back in the room with you, or back in the car, or back in the shower, back wherever you are physically. Okay? And so then what I want you to do is breathe in and out 5 times. And when you breathe in and out 5 times, I want you to affirm something that feels empowering. Okay. So let me give you an example. Okay. I am sitting here at my desk, right? I could be here working. And then, oh my gosh, I'll start crying. And then I'll ask myself, what am I thinking about? Oh, I'm thinking about a bad argument that I had. Okay. So I stop the thought, bring my awareness back to the office. Okay, girl, you in the office. What's that you see? Okay, that's just my computer. What's that you smell? That's my candle burning. What's that I hear? Okay, that's my frequency music. Okay. Okay. I want to breathe in with my nose, out with my mouth 5 times. And then I'm going to affirm, I'm good. I am safe. I am whole. I am healed. All right. And I'm going to move on about my day. Now, when it comes to mind mastery, I'm not going to lie. It took me about 6 years to figure this out. It took me about 6 years to really get a grip on my mind because at the time I went to a psychiatrist. I'm like, listen, I need help. And she was just trying to put me on medication. So I had to figure this out on my own. But if you simply just start trying to be aware of everything that you are thinking, okay? For my people that I mentioned, I say, hey, if you know that your mind just goes. For my people who have heavy, overthinking, I tell them, or very bad anxiety, set an alarm on your phone. This alarm should go off about every 2 to 3 hours. And this alarm is a mind check alarm. So when the alarm goes off, you ask yourself, what am I thinking? Right. What am I thinking? Let me tell you, I love that. Yeah, Virgos are thinkers. I love that they're thinkers. But the reason why we want to control our thoughts, you guys, is because your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. I told you that you are a creator. You came here to create, and you create with your thinking, your speaking, your actions, and your emotions. So if you let your mind go haywire and think about any and everything for hours at a time, guess what you are creating? You're creating whatever you're thinking about. You're creating whatever you're speaking about. You are creating whatever you are acting out and feeling. Okay. So this is why I'm a mindset and manifestation consultant. Because if you don't get control of your mind with your anxiety and your depression, you will be creating that reality that you don't want. Does this make sense? Do we have any questions? Yes, I have to do that about 3 times and it works. It's the Virgo in me. Yes, I'm a Virgo too, but I had to learn how to control my thoughts because my emotions will. Yes, absolutely. Same here. I'm learning to regulate my emotions. Don't help that I'm an empath too. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, good. Very, very good. Mind mastery. I mean, to be honest, you guys, you must do it till the day that you pass along. Okay. You must do it until the day that you pass along because it's creating the reality that you walk into. So you definitely want to master your mind all the days of your life. Just keep at it, keep at it. It's going to take time. You know why? Because we've been thinking certain ways for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, however many years. We've been thinking that long. So we most certainly need to like we need to be patient with ourselves, have grace with ourselves when when we do this overthinking and stuff like that. When we do our best to control our thoughts, I see that the people that I work with, they'll be fine. They'll start and they'll do it, and it'll be a week and they'll be fine, and then all of a sudden they have a bad day and they revert back. They're trying, and I'm like, don't do that. You don't have to revert back. This is life. Life is full of ebbs and flows. Now, what you don't want to do is let this stuff stop you and hinder you. What you don't want to do is ignore and shut down and brush under a rug, and then it's going to be manifesting in other ways later on down the road. So, what you have to do is heal and mind mastery. Heal and mind mastery, right? It's a process. We are forever evolving. We are forever evolving. This is a journey, right? And there is no race. Okay. Any question? Any question? Thank you, Tiffany. Any questions? You're welcome, my darling. You're so welcome. My TikTok name is the hippie Nikki. HIPPYNIKKI. My website is weareallwinning.com. I offer one-on-one consultations. Okay. You guys are Tiffany's people. So it's on, I have it discounted now, but you guys used code TikTok. Since y'all are Tiffany's people, you guys can get an additional discount off of anything on my site by using code. Um, I'll make sure it's active. And so if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I would love to see you guys on TikTok. Oh yeah, you get the identity kit. Okay, boo. Yeah, use that code, okay? Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, Tiffany, you let me know what I need to do now.
All right.
All
If
right.
there are
There you go. Uh-oh, echo again.
there we go. All right.
There
If
you
there are no
go.
questions, I thank everybody for coming. And most importantly, Nikki, you were amazing. I
Thank
always
you.
just sit and listen to you. I get lost in
Thank
just listening
you.
to you because it helps reprograms my mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys
Oh
so
my
much. Thank
goodness.
you.
All right. Well, Nikki, all you need to do is click the red button at the bottom. It will say you will disconnect and I'll close out the event. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, guys, take care.
All right, everyone. Y'all have a good one.